Hey y'all, welcome to Alaska Rural Homestead. I'm Mark, and today we're going to make some dehydrated / freeze-dried mashed potatoes. Great thing about this is they'll keep for 25 years. They're great to eat. They're quick to make when you rehydrate them, and they're really light. So if you like to do a lot of camping like we do, or if you like to do a lot of outdoor activities where you're fishing or something like that, these are great to pack along for a quick and easy meal. Just add some water, stir them up, they're ready to go. So anyways, we're going to start this out. Basically you have to have 5 pounds of potatoes per batch, and basically you guys know how to make mashed potatoes, but if you don't, see our other video on how we're going to make mashed potatoes. But assuming you know how to make mashed potatoes, we're going to take these 5 pounds of potatoes, and in just a few minutes we're going to put them in the dehydrator. So stay tuned. Okay, there you have it. Garlic mashed potatoes. So now that we got our garlic mashed potatoes done, we're going to go ahead and put these in the refrigerator and chill them overnight. And tomorrow we're going to go ahead and put them on our freeze dryer trays and get them in the freeze dryer. And keep watching and we'll take it from there. So it's the next day. We went ahead and made our yummy mashed potatoes here. And so what I'm going to do is we'll go ahead and put about 1 pound of each into these trays right here. Now, like I said, I'm not recommending Harvest Dried. I'm not promoting them in any way. It's just the type of freeze dryer that we have, so bear with me on that aspect. Anyway, these are lined with a silicone liner, and that prevents it from sticking to the trays themselves, which makes cleanup really easy. So what we're going to do now is we're just basically going to put about 1 pound of potatoes into each one of these pans and kind of, spread it out some. You want it to stay chunky like this. You don't want to pack it in there. This allows the air to get in between there, and it freezes and dries a lot quicker. So once this is in on these trays, we're going to run them between 25 and 35 hours, and that's just a matter of testing. So when we stop at 25 hours, we'll pause the machine, we'll look at it, and if we see ice crystals anywhere, it means there's still moisture in this and it's not completely freeze dried yet. So we'll go ahead and put it back in for another 10 hours and then take a look at it from there. So once I get all these trays filled, we'll go ahead and put them into the freeze dryer. So this is our last tray, and as I said before, you don't want no more than about 1 pound of mashed potatoes in each. And leave it lumpy, don't pack it down so the air can get to it. So we're done loading the trays up here, and we're going to go ahead and get the freeze dryer turned on and put them into the freeze dryer. Okay, here's our freeze dryer. Now just to let you know, I did go ahead and turn it on and just get it pre-chilled inside, so we're going to try and keep this door shut as much as possible and get these loaded up really quick. But basically, you open this door here, you slide them in, you shut the door with the pad in front, which is an insulator, and then you can go from there. So here we go. And our insulating pad, that just sits right in front like this. Shut your door, latch it down. All you have to do now on most machines is just hit start. It asks me if my drain valve is closed. Yes, it is. We hit continue, and it will start freezing this. So what it will do is it will bring this temperature down to -20. At that point, the trays inside will heat up just barely, which causes it to basically go into what they call sublimination. That's where your moisture goes from a frozen state to a vapor state without going into liquid in between. As it does that, it's got a vacuum, so it's pulling that moisture out and into a collection. It will do this over and over and over again in different cycles until you stop it. Usually, like I said, about 25 hours. We'll check it. We'll make sure there's no ice crystals in it, which means there's no moisture in it. If that's the case, we'll pull it out. If not, we'll put it back in and do it for another 10 hours and then check it again. So we'll see you back here in about 25 hours. Okay, so we're back. It's been going now for 25 hours. I'm going to go ahead and release the vacuum so I can check and make sure that it's actually freeze dried all the way through. So give me just a second. So I don't know if you can hear that or not, but that's where it's pulling air into the chamber here. Like I said, there's a vacuum in here. Now that you don't hear that, that means there's no vacuum, so it's easy to open this door here. So we open the door, we pull our little pad out, and then we check. So what we're looking for is we're looking for these big pieces. We want to make sure that they're nice and dry. And no ice crystals. You see how nice and dry that is, how it just breaks up real easy. So there's no ice on that tray. Here's kind of a big chunk here we're just going to test. No ice. Now if we were to see ice crystals in here, we'd have to put it back and let it do some more freeze drying. Now if you use a freeze dryer, make sure you always use a mitt when you touch these trays, because these trays are 20 below when they're not heated up. And when they are heated up, they get pretty hot. They get like, 100 degrees or so, which is enough to cause the moisture to come out. Alright, so we've waited and waited and waited, and we've got about 30 hours on this. This is the final completion of everything in here. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the drain valve over here. There again, that lets in the air. It takes the vacuum out of this so we can open the door. Okay, so now that the vacuum has been filled, pull this out. Pulling it out, and I already know this is dry because we've already checked them before. So we're just going to set them up here, and pardon my bad shoulder here, so I'll use my other arm. So we're done, and we're going to move to packaging this, but before we did that, I wanted to get a close-up inside here. I want to show you what this looks like on the inside real quick. So hopefully you can see this, but there's ice over here and on the top, down over on this side, and on the bottom. This is all the moisture that was in the food, and as it dehydrates and freeze dries, it will pull the vapor, the water vapor, to the outside of this cone here and freeze, and that's how it freeze dries. Okay, so we've got the two trays out. They've warmed up enough I can touch them where they're not going to burn me from being cold. So what I'm using is I'm using Mylar bags here, and you can get these through Amazon or someplace like that. You don't have to buy the name brand stuff. A Mylar bag is a Mylar bag. So, anyways, what you do is you take your mashed potatoes here and as gently and as easily as you can, and what I mean by that is trying not to spill it, you put this into your Mylar bag. Okay, so keep in mind that this is roughly a pound of mashed potatoes, because I had 4 pounds. I put roughly a pound on each one of these trays here, and so when it freeze dried it took all of the water out of here, and that water is basically in the form of ice inside of the machine right now, and when we finally turn that machine off, it will drain all that moisture out. So that being said, when you get ready to rehydrate these, you're going to have to add, I'd start with probably a cup to a cup and a half of warm water or hot water, because you can eat these right out of the pack. And stir it up and see how they, what the consistency is. If it's really, really thick, you can add some more water. But as you're adding your water in, just, don't make it runny. A little bit at a time, stir. A little bit at a time, stir. Now all I'm doing is just crushing all of my potatoes. Doesn't hurt them or anything. It just makes it lay flatter. Like so. Now once everything is off the tray and I have the bag as full as I want it, I have to get one of these oxygen absorbers out of here. And as you can tell by that seal, they do absorb the oxygen. So I take one out, I shove it in, come over here to my sealer, and we seal it. So all I do is lay it down over here, get it as flat as I can, hold this down, wait for my light to go off, so now you can see that nice good seal all the way across here. And I always like to do 2 seals that are good, so I'm going to do one more. And this just is a double standard, or a double check, so no air gets into here once it's sealed. So now you can see the 2 seals. But this is already ready to go. This has been dated for today, so January 10th, 2021. This is good for 25 years. Okay, so 21 and 25 is 46. So the year 2046, this expires. I don't know about you. There's 25 more years. I may or may not be around, but it's cost effective. I mean, when you can harvest your own potatoes, your own garlic, your goat's milk, put it into a meal like this, and be able to keep it for 25 years, it's great for prepping in case something does happen. And I'm not just talking about the political climate today. I'm talking about anything. Tornadoes if you're in the lower 48. Hurricanes if you're on the coastal regions. Blizzards, snowstorms, anything like that. Point is this will be around, so when you need it, it's ready to go. You can add hot water to it and it's edible. You can add lukewarm water to it and it's edible. It's already cooked and ready to go. So I hope this has been informative to you guys and gals. If you have any questions, please leave comments about how to do this. This is very simple technique. I can walk anybody through it in about 10 minutes. You don't have to have a Harvest Right machine. Like I said, I'm not pushing that brand. It's just the one I happen to have. But I'm more than willing to help anybody out that wants to learn food prep like this to store it. So, like I said, I hope this helps. Give us that like. Hit that notification bell so every time I got a new video that comes out, or the wife puts out a new video, you get notified of it. And if y'all haven't subscribed but you like our content, give us that subscribe. We're trying to make this the best channel we can for you, our viewers. So thank you and God bless.